Hey guys, good morning. This is Das BK, and today I want to talk to you about how to motivate yourself and keep setting goals during these sort of downtimes of the pandemic. So check it out.
What are you doing to motivate yourself? Nothing?
So what I want to talk about is how we motivate ourselves each and every day. What are we doing? What kind of steps are we taking to project ourselves as a better person to the world that we live in? Developing good habits. How do we get the gears turning early in the morning? Well, you got to really start small. I think one of the things that I learned when I was in the Air Force is the fact that you have to constantly have goals ready for you when you wake up in the morning. Some of it's built-in structure, waking up, and then you just have chores that automatically kick in as soon as you wake up. As soon as that first thought of consciousness hits you, it's like I'm gonna wake up, whatever. I'm gonna make my coffee. I'm gonna make my bed. I'm gonna make sure my area is squared away, and then I'm gonna go whatever. Maybe I'm gonna go for a run, go to the gym, go to work. But it's by habit, and it's by building good habits. So you wake up and it's step 1, 2, 3, 4, go, right? And already you have the momentum going. But the fact of the matter is that, this guy right here, you got to put it down for a second, and you need to take charge of tasks, because a lot of the times, getting on your phone is not a task. I have a thing where I wake up in the morning and I get my coffee, and I already start drinking that octane, and I start thinking about what is it that I got to do today. Right now I'm a student of visual effects. I just graduated from the School of Visual Arts, completed a short film, took a little bit over 2 years to make, and I'm very proud of it. It's in the film festival circuit right now, and it's actually won some awards, and we're just going to see how much momentum that gets. But that's doing its thing in the past. But right now, what am I doing to make my future self better? I want to continue to grow my income. I definitely want to continue to grow to make money. So I'm in a position now to where I'm looking at investments, but now I'm having to learn how to invest properly. So, you could do one of two things. I could give my money to a stockbroker or some investment firm, and they can do all the work for me, but that's just not how I work. I want to know how things are done. I want to know, how I can do it myself, but oftentimes I just want to know how it works. And if I can do it myself, that's how I learn the best. That's not how everybody learns. I can't read words off a page and just retain that information. I probably would have been a lawyer. I'm very much of a visual person. So what I do is, so I have all these goals circulating in my head. I've got all these goals that aren't achievable by tomorrow, but they're goals that are achievable in the next few weeks. I can see a trajectory of when you pick up something new and you start learning, the curve is just whoosh, you start learning the most in the beginning, and then you got to try a little bit harder to continue on that research to go on to more advanced levels. But right now I'm in the advanced learning stages of learning how to invest. I'm also in the advanced learning stages, or beginner learning stages of investing. The beginner learning stages of doing visual effects on a level, on a very high level in a different program, different software, and it's totally rewiring the way that I think about and approach visual effects using softwares that I'm used to now, which is Maya, Nuke, and Houdini. So I'm very more comfortable in those spaces, but I'm taking myself out of that space to learn it in a new space because, that's a new tool in the bag. So for me, it's about that a little bit, how big can I make and how ridiculous can I make my Swiss Army knife of knowledge, right? So those are the two things that I do daily. I also work from home. So, you know, a regular work hour or regular work week, I'm doing 10 to 6 with a company where I'm doing some work. So, you know, I can do that, but, you know, fortunately I can also just have like a YouTube video going on in the background where, you know, I'm doing my work, which is a little bit mindless activity, still like very important work, but you know, I can have a YouTube video going on in the background where I'm sort of like absorbing information on the side. So I'm like multitasking. And I know this is like everybody's really good at multitasking by now. So, you know, multitask, you know, whenever you can find moments during your hours of productivity, you know, use that momentum to like, to get more knowledge, to figure, or at least think about, you know, allow yourself to daydream, to think about new goals that you want to have. Simple goals. You know, I try to also inject like little things into my life now that take me away from the goals that I'm also trying to achieve while I'm working, or like while I'm kind of working, like with YouTube videos. But you know, going out on a run. So, you know, I put my mask on, and I've been running 3 miles around the neighborhood about like 3 times a week for the past week. I don't know, I think I just completed my 6th run. And I'm not a long distance runner. I'm really not the biggest fan of running, but you know, I don't have a gym, so I can't lift weights, and it's like I need like physical stimulation. So so what am I gonna do? Like, I'm gonna go out and run, and not only am I just gonna go like just trot around the neighborhood. What I want to, they're more specific than that. So it's like, it's getting out and saying, all right, well, I know that I can do a mile. 3 miles is kind of a lot. And even if I got to walk a little bit of that 3 miles, like it's about getting out and doing just 3 miles. I don't have a specific time in mind or anything like that, but it's just about doing 3 miles, and just being able to complete that, you know, anytime I want to go out. So I just completed my 5th run, and from the first run that I did, I've dropped my time 4 minutes from the first run to the last run. So I'm doing like 3 miles in like 27 minutes, which is okay, I guess. Like, I don't know like how to measure that against any other runners, but so with, you know, with running, it's just, I mean, yeah, it's just running, and not everybody likes to exercise. Maybe for you it's drawing, or maybe for you it's cooking or looking up new recipes. The point is that it helps to set big goals, and inside or underneath those big goals to have like small goals, you know, little goals that you can do on a daily. So you still have achievements that you're making, like long-term goals. Like, you're not going to hit those like at the end of the day, but you're hitting these benchmarks, right? And oftentimes, like with big projects, you have small benchmarks, and you don't really feel the progress of those benchmarks quite yet. You feel them over time. But with smaller goals, like if you just complete, you know, whatever, an ab routine, you're just like, all right, I'm going to do these sit-ups, download this app, you know, I'm going to do this thing that takes, you know, 10 minutes. But when you accomplish that, you get that one tiny little thing that took you 20, that feels like a lot. Good habits, guys. You know, a lot of things are achieved, you know, with just broken down, deconstructed thoughts, and, you know, allow yourself to daydream, and allow yourself to like imagine, you know, what if I did this and what if I did that, and maybe, you know, and then start organizing those thoughts into some arrangement of goals, if those are things you're really serious about. But you know, it's just so easy to just sit back and watch like episode after episode after episode of Netflix or YouTube, and just let the day go by. You know, it's all of a sudden, it's just like, how do I get through the day? And that's what becomes everybody's routine. And, you know, it's not, you know, make your time worth something. If it goes back to normal, then you remember all that time that you wish you had. Well, like that time that you're getting now, for some of you, maybe most of you, but not all of you. Like, I understand everybody's circumstance is different, but you know, if you do have that time, right now is that time to like think about self-improvement, or just changing your goals or changing your life direction. Unhappy with that job that you had, that you got furloughed, now is the time to think about, well, like, what if I want to just change direction? What if I want to try something else? You can start learning about it right now, and then start preparing yourself with knowledge about how you can get into that field. Maybe it's going back to school, A lot of schools are going to be doing online learning, you know, during the fall. They're definitely doing it during the summer. So, wow, I think it's an incredible time and an opportunity to reconstruct the person that you want to be. If there are areas in your life that you're unhappy with, you can absolutely redesign those areas, and by the time all this is over, you'll have some form of that in your life now. And it's about making you a better person and a happier person, right? And like, I think when we're all happier, then life just feels a lot more. You just feel a lot more fulfilled. You feel a lot more comfortable in your skin. There's definitely a lot of areas that I need work on. I feel really awkward talking to a camera, believe it or not. And I guess if I had to recap, it's about allowing yourself to think, allowing yourself to imagine what new goals you want to give yourself in your life, or allowing yourself to daydream or imagine this sort of different upgraded you that you want to be, right? Start there, start thinking about that. And when goals start popping up in your head or ideas start popping up in your head, write them down, right? Because now you're sort of holding yourself accountable to this piece of paper. Get a note. I have a ton of notebooks. I have a ton of drawing pads. I have a ton of everything. I've got dry erase boards. I've got plenty of everything around me. So when an idea pops up, a pen is within, an arm's reach, and I got to write that down. As dumb or as chicken scratch as it may be, you just write it down. I have my goals, and I shared one of them with you. It's, just kind of run, consistently 3 miles, not be winded, maybe start now. I know my times to maybe start getting those times down. I do a little workout routine in my living room, from an app. So when my app reminds me that I need to work out, no excuses. It's written down on my dry erase board. So no excuses, no I'll do it later on tonight. No, get it done now. It's going to take 10 minutes of your day. Do it now. Work on, one of the tutorials that I'm working on now. At least do that at least an hour after work. And when I wake up in the morning, if I'm not researching and looking up, investment and basically it's real bottom level investment knowledge. So I'm a total noob when it comes to investment, but it's still fun because it's learning. So maybe in the morning over coffee I'll do that. So during the day I have all these levels that I got to hit, and it makes my days a lot more fun. And guys, at the end of all this, at the end of 1 month, at the end of 3 months, at the end of a week, so on and so forth, you're gonna feel your spheres of knowledge are growing, and you're gonna have a lot to talk about. You're gonna have a lot of exciting things to tell people. What you're doing with your time, and in a year's time, people are gonna look at you. You're gonna be a completely different person. So think of new goals. That's what this video is about. Is think of how you can upgrade how you can upgrade your knowledge, how can you upgrade your skill sets, and just be the best person that you can be. So that's it. That's just a quick motivational get out there and get it kind of thing. And so don't forget, if you like this video, smash that like button. And don't forget to subscribe. Leave any comments below. Let me know what you think of this chat. Maybe there's something I left out. Tell me what kind of goals that you have, or what kind of things that you've been achieving during this break of COVID-19. And let me know how things are going. Thanks, guys.